Dear student, due to coronavirus, school started online classes for your study. So you can subscribe Golden Flower Palia YouTube channel, like and press the bell icon.
Hello students. So dear student, today is the lecture number 16th of class 10th biology. In the last video, lecture number 15th, we were discussing about the respiration in the human beings. Same topic today we will follow, that is the respiration in the human beings. In the last video we have discussed about the inhalation, exhalation, respiration, types of respiration. Today we will discuss about the respiratory system of the human beings. If you recall your memory, then we have discussed the respiration in plants and respiration in animals, and in respiration in animals we are discussing in detail form the respiration in the human beings. So today I will discuss with you the respiratory system of the human being. This diagram already I have discussed with you in the previous video, lecture number 15th, but today this diagram we have to discuss in detail form. Now, respiratory system of the human beings have respiratory organs. Respiratory organs. So the main respiratory organs of the human being is nose. Second one is nasal cavity or nasal passages. Third one is trachea, pharynx, or you can say trachea. Fourth one is bronchus. Fifth one is bronchiole. Sixth one is alveoli. Seventh one is lungs. And eighth one is diaphragm. These are the parts of the human respiratory system, or you can say these are those parts which are helpful in the process of respiration in the human being. Respiration means especially breathing in and breathing out. Now, first of all, I will tell you about the nose. As you know very well, nose is the respiratory organ which is helpful in the exchange of the gases. We are having the two holes in the nose, they are called the nostrils. Okay, two holes in the nose which are called the nostrils. Nasal passages, or you can say nasal cavity. Nasal passages, or you can say nasal cavity. Nasal passage means the hollow cavity in your nose. The hollow cavity in your nose, that is called the nasal passages or nasal cavity. This nasal cavity is lined by mucus and fine hair. Okay, this mucus, this nasal cavity internally is lined by a mucous membrane and fine hairs which purify the air which is entering from outside to inside. The main function of the mucus is, if the dust particles or the any microbes are going with the air, so in the nasal cavity they will attach with the mucus. Mucus will attach that microbes, and mucus will not allow the microbes to get inside. So the main function of the mucus and fine hair, they are responsible to purify the air. They are present in the nasal cavity, and they are also responsible to cool down the temperature of the air. Now this is the trachea. This is the trachea which is called the windpipe. But before the trachea, one space is here, which is the space between the mouth cavity, buccal cavity, and before the trachea. So before the trachea and after the buccal cavity, one space is here. This is called throat space. throat space, or it is also called pharynx. Okay, so pharynx is the space in the throat where the buccal cavity and the trachea open, and the main function of the pharynx, it protects the food to go inside the trachea when we are talking and swallowing. So this is the reason this tracheal pharynx, back part of the pharynx, has a special part that is called the epiglottis. This epiglottis close the buccal cavity and close the windpipe and food pipe. Regularly, in a general way, the epiglottis close the food pipe and it opens, and the trachea or windpipe regularly opens. But when we are swallowing the food, at that time that epiglottis will close the trachea, means at that time the breathing will stop at the time of swallowing, so that any food particle cannot go inside the trachea. Because if any food particle will enter in the trachea, then it will cause spoilage, because there is no digestion enzyme for digestion of food. It will spoil and it will harm to the trachea. So the God has given this proper arrangement in the human being throat that epiglottis will close the windpipe at the time of swallowing the food. Now this is the trachea. It is a tube-like structure. It is a tube-like structure which runs from the chest cavity and it joins to the lungs. When the trachea enters into the chest cavity, then this trachea divides into the two parts. This is called the bronchus or bronchi. In plural word, they are called bronchi. Okay? In plural word, the bronchus, this bronchus and this bronchus, the combinedly known as, they are called bronchi. Now bronchi are the tube-like structures. Now you can see here these lines. These are special C-shaped cartilaginous tissues or rings. C-shaped cartilaginous rings. These are lines which you can look. These are just like, means from the back side, these are the C-shaped, from the back side they are open. And what is the main function of the C-shaped cartilaginous rings? They protect the trachea to collapse. Means, just for example, at any time when the air is not present in the trachea, so at that time trachea will not collapse. So the main function of that cartilaginous tissues is they protect the trachea to collapse. Then after that, this trachea divides into the two parts, that is the bronchus. When bronchus will enter into the lungs, then they divides into the small tube-like structures. They are called bronchioles. They are called bronchioles. On bronchioles, a very special balloon-like structures, very thin membrane structures, or you can say sac-like structures. These are the sac-like. Sac-like means they are the hollow. So sac-like structures are present on the bronchioles. These are called alveoli. And the main function of alveoli, they increases the area of exchange the gases. They provide the maximum area for exchange the gases. Because just try to think about, if these alveoli will not be present, then direct air will goes from trachea, bronchus, then bronchiole. So in these tube-like structure, there is a very small space, very small area. So to provide the maximum area, the God has given this arrangement in the human being lung system, that they are having small sac-like structures. They are the alveoli and they are very thin membrane and they store the gases. Now after that, second one, bronchus is over, bronchiole, then alveoli. Alveoli are the thin membranous balloon-like structures. Now lungs. You know very well, lung is the main respiratory organ. Main respiratory organ. The main respiratory organ of the human beings are the lungs. Lungs are one pair. They are very sponge-like structures and they are very pinkish in color. The lungs of an healthy person are pink in color and they are very spongy. The membrane of the lungs are called pleural membrane. Pleural membrane. The membrane of the lungs is called the pleural membrane, and the cavity of the lungs between the, you can say, the membrane, the cavity between the membranes of the lungs is called the pleural cavity. Now come on the next, that is the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a dividation between the upper thoracic cavity and the abdominal part. It divides the upper portion to the lower portion. The diaphragm is very helpful in the process of respiration, or you can say breathing. It moves when the air breathe in, then diaphragm will move downside. When the breathe out, then the diaphragm will come back on its position that we have already discussed this topic in the previous video. Now dear students, as you know very well, the oxygen which we are inhaling is stored in the alveoli. Now after that, from these alveoli, that oxygen gas will be transported to each and every cell of the body through the blood, because you know very well the oxygen gas which is stored inside the alveoli, that has to reach the each and every cell of the body, required that oxygen to release the energy from food. So that is why this oxygen gas is transported to the each and every cell of the body through the blood. But as you know very well, if you have heard earlierly that hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment. Hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment which carry the respiratory gases in body. Respiratory gases in body. It means this is the function of the hemoglobin. And what is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is called respiratory pigment which is present in blood. So this is the main function of the hemoglobin, that the hemoglobin will transport the oxygen gas from alveoli to the each and every cell of the body. Then from each and every cell it will collect the CO2 and will come here to the alveoli, and through the alveoli the CO2 gas will release outside. So how the exchange of the gases takes place, I will tell you. Exchange of gases. For example, just I am taking the one diagram here. This is the alveolus. And through just near the alveolus, means through the just very near to the lungs, one blood capillary pass out. Blood capillary means very thin blood capillaries run through the lungs, very near to the lungs, or you can say very near to the alveoli. These blood capillary and these alveoli are very thin membrane. So when the gases will enter, from trachea, bronchus, bronchiole, then in alveoli, then oxygen will be 21% and CO2 will be 0.03%. It means you can see here the oxygen amount is greater in amount. Here the blood, and inside the blood what is present? Hemoglobin. So the by the process of diffusion, because the oxygen amount is here is greater, so by the process of diffusion the oxygen gas will diffuse inside the blood, then after that, how the gases are transport of gases, how the gases are transport. As the oxygen gas will come in the blood, then hemoglobin will combine to the oxygen, and they will form oxyhemoglobin. This oxyhemoglobin will transport to the each and every cell, then their oxyhemoglobin will dissociate into oxygen plus hemoglobin. Hb is the symbol of hemoglobin. Then when these oxyhemoglobin will dissociate or break down into oxygen, then oxygen gas will be absorbed by the cells and hemoglobin will combine with oxygen, CO2. Hemoglobin will combine with CO2. They will form carboxyhemoglobin. Then this hemoglobin through the blood will come to the alveolus, and this carboxyhemoglobin will again dissociate into carbon dioxide plus hemoglobin. These are the methods for transport of the gases. I have given you with the help of just 4 reactions. Now with the help of diagram I am just telling you. For example, oxygen will come into the blood. So here okay. So as जैसे ही oxygen gas will combine with the hemoglobin, then here they will form oxyhemoglobin. As the oxyhemoglobin will reach to the cell, then by the process of diffusion, oxygen gas will diffuse inside the cell, and CO2 gas will come from cells to the alveoli, from cells to the blood capillaries. यहां पर आकर ऑक्सीहीमोग्लोबिन ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है. ऑक्सीहीमोग्लोबिन 2 पार्ट्स में टूट जाता है, ऑक्सीजन प्लस हीमोग्लोबिन. तो ऑक्सीजन विल डिफ्यूज इनसाइड द सेल, बट यहां पर हीमोग्लोबिन रह जाता है. देन दैट हीमोग्लोबिन विल कंबाइन विद CO2 and they will form carboxyhemoglobin. That carboxyhemoglobin will come to the, because blood is continuously moving or flowing inside the body, so carboxyhemoglobin will come to the alveolus, and here the blood carboxyhemoglobin again break down into 2 parts, carbon dioxide plus oxygen. So when the carbon dioxide will come here, the CO2 will be here, there about 3 to 4%. Here the carbon dioxide will be 3 to 4%. Here carbon dioxide in very less amount. So the process of diffusion, the CO2 gas will diffuse from blood capillary to the alveolus, and through the alveolus the CO2 gas will exhale out. This is the exchange of the gases and transport of the gases through the human respiratory system. You know very well that the area where the exchange of the gases takes place, that is the alveolus and blood capillary. These are the area where the exchange of the gases takes place. And you know very well, in the process of the respiration, the CO2 gas release out. In the last video I told you about the rate of respiration. The rate of the respiration near about 15 to 80 times in an adult, but I told you in the 16 times, that is also correct. But range is the 15 to 18 times per minute in an adult in normal condition. But the rate of respiration can increase by the heavy exercise, fast running due to different disorders of the respiratory system. So this is the topic of the for today, and up to here we have completed the respiration process in the human beings. So dear students, have the more practice, keep working. All the best. God bless you.
Do self study at home and stay home, save lives. Thank you very much.